Good morning and welcome to Write with Rachel. I'm Rachel and I'll be your guide today. We're live today from my studio in San Diego, California, and I'm improvising everything as I go. I'll be interpreting the prompt with you and also writing about it with you. If you're ready, go ahead and grab a journal, your computer, a sketchpad, your favorite voice app, or whatever tools you prefer to express yourself. Today's prompt is the 1 plus 1 equals prompt. And today, when I was out on my walk, I thought, let's switch things up a bit. The birds were chirping and tweeting this morning. So, for my auditory listeners, we're going to use an auditory prompt this morning, and that is going to be the sound of birds chirping. So that's the first part of our prompt, represented by this cute little bird. And then the second thing I found on my walk today was this red ribbon. So for today's 1 plus 1 prompt, we have chirping birds, and we also have a red ribbon. So let's see where we can take this direction. Let's start with the chirping birds and a red ribbon. So let's say you want to take this in a creative writing direction. Let's say you're going to write a story and you are investigating a mystery. And one of the clues involves a bird that is bringing one of your suspects a different color ribbon every day. So far, you've seen pink, purple, green, and blue. And on day 5, the bird delivers the red ribbon. Will you figure it out before something horrible happens? You could also take a creative writing direction where you have someone who likes to raise birds. Perhaps she has a prize winning bird with such a beautiful tweet and chirp that she brings the bird to a songbird competition where it wins the red ribbon. And the next day, when she goes to feed the bird, it's missing. ... Let's take this in a personal journaling direction next. You could journal about how you feel when you hear the birds chirping. Does it make you feel happy? Does it make you feel annoyed? Is there a certain type of bird chirp that you would award a red ribbon? Is there any time that you've been someplace, maybe a science fair, maybe a exhibition, maybe a festival or a carnival, where you've won a red ribbon or you wanted to win a red ribbon, or maybe you thought something like, that's for the birds. You want to go in a different direction. You want to make a list. You could make a list of what birds and ribbons have in common or don't. You can make a list of reasons that birds would use a ribbon. And you could also make a list of reasons that a ribbon could be printed with pictures of birds, or you can award a red ribbon to your favorite chirping bird. And perhaps you want to make a list. Maybe it's a top 10 list. I also encourage you to consider the wild card option. The wild card option is your choice. You can take this in any direction that you would like. Perhaps you heard the chirping bird sound that I played and you thought of an idea for a certain type of bird, maybe a bluebird, maybe a robin, maybe another type of bird. Perhaps you saw the little bluebird figurine and it gave you an idea about some sort of play bird. Maybe bird is a part of an art project. Maybe a bird made out of stone that suddenly starts chirping. Maybe the red ribbon reminded you of something that you'd like to write about. Maybe a red ribbon from someone's hair, maybe a red ribbon from a gift. Lots of different ways you could take this direction. In just a moment or two, we'll start the writing part of our workshop today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ring the bell. That's going to signal the start of my writing time. For the first 5 minutes, I'll be writing and talking through my process so you can see how I'm going to approach the prompt. After the first 5 minutes or so, I am going to stop talking and we can have a 5-minute silent writing time together. And at the end, I'll ring the bell again and we can explore a little bit more about the writing process. So if everyone's ready, let's begin. So I'm starting this off with an investigator. We have someone, the prisoner will say, and they are somehow getting messages daily. And the investigator is trying to figure out how they're getting those messages. So they are going back and forth with someone else. Maybe it's a supervisor at the prisoner, or maybe someone who's a level above. They're like, "You're sure there's no internet access? No, no hidden phones? No, no bribe guards? No." So now we're just going through. They're just doing a kind of a back and forth. So here I'm just coming up with different things. Kind of also fits into the list making criteria. For those of you who like lists, you can always include a list in your story. And then the investigator draws a blank. Everything is silent until he hears. Here's the music. The music, he says. The music? The lyrics. Maybe the song is coded. I guess it could be the songs do change, not by much, but in the order that they play. And who chooses the songs? Well, it is a right. Well, not so much a right, but it is a privilege of the prisoners. Choose to be the DJ. Aha, says the investigator. It must be it. Let's get someone here. Stat, code breaker. The supervisor says yes. Okay, I'm now going to invite you to start writing and working on your own prompt for the next 5 minutes. I'll continue to write with you and go. And that's the end of our 5-minute writing time today. If you're in a good flow, I encourage you to keep going. If you'd like, you're welcome to share what you wrote today in the comments. I'll finish sharing a little bit about what I wrote today. So they thought maybe the message was in the lyrics of the music. So they brought in a code breaker, but the code breaker found nothing. Next day, the investigator is still stumped. He's out on an early morning walk with his dog. Tweet, 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 tweet. The birds almost sounded like they were talking. He stopped and then he ran back home. He calls. The birds, he said. But they're wild animals. You can't train a bluebird. You'd have to train them to fly to the window and exactly where to land and what you can make them twitter, you can make them tweet in code. But are they real birds? The investigator asked. What if they aren't real birds at all? And that's where I wrapped up my prompt. As always, you're welcome to take my draft and turn it into your own story. If you enjoyed writing with me today, I would love for you to join me again tomorrow. I'll be posting a new writing session every weekday. And if you'd like to keep writing together, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for writing with me today, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.